It's easy to be pessimistic about new technologies.
No hands on the wheel, no hands at all.
They're often expensive, heavy, with a limited feature set.
Cellular phones not only are becoming less expensive, they're getting smaller.
Existing, familiar, and cheaper alternatives can often seem more appealing in the short term. But here's the thing. The first light bulbs burned out in less than a day. Early bicycles had no inflatable tires, earning them the nickname bone shakers. And the first airplane didn't exactly get rave reviews. In 1908, 1 week after the Wright brothers' inaugural flight, the UK's Guardian newspaper acknowledged the event as a great feat of mechanical achievement, but brushed off its broader potential. Before the smartphones of today, there was the Apple Newton and General Magic's Magic Link, both early visions of a smartphone future that weren't viable. Then came Palm Pilots, Blackberries, followed by the iPhone and other smartphones, products we all love now, but didn't avoid short-term pessimism. The iPhone got early criticism because you couldn't cut and paste. There were no wallpapers. There was no app store.
And it doesn't appeal to business customers because it doesn't have a keyboard.
Even the idea behind the original Macintosh, a PC for everyone, drew skepticism from Apple's own co-founder. Steve Wozniak said, "For most personal tasks, such as balancing a checkbook, consulting airline schedules, writing a modest number of letters, paper works just as well as a computer and costs less." The other Steve, Steve Jobs, had a different view. He was a long-term optimist. He understood short-term limitations were only temporary. The problem is, long-term optimism requires a level of blind faith. As Jobs told Playboy, 100 years ago, if somebody had asked Alexander Graham Bell, "What are you going to be able to do with a telephone?" He didn't know that people would use the telephone to call up and find out what movies were playing that night, or to order some groceries, or call a relative on the other side of the globe. Pessimism about early light bulbs, bicycles, telephones, and airplanes was right, but only in the short term. It's not that new products shouldn't be evaluated and their shortcomings noted. It's a question of what culture they're being released into. Is it one ready to criticize anything new because it's not perfect yet? Or is it one examining it in the context of the state of the technology, excited about its potential, and eager to see what's next?